and welcome to everybody. This is your life, as you've seen. Tonight we're celebrating a life filled with achievement, challenges, laughter and love. A life that has touched many others in ways big and small. So without further ado, it's time to surprise our guest, which I'm reading to the script, which you already know who it is. So those who I spoke to earlier tonight and said, get 10 minutes together, it might be you, relax. Doug Smith, this is your life. Okay, you're seated. Sit back, take a deep breath, and away we go. I'll sit down and get out of the way.
Good idea.
This is to you, Doug. Have you seen, can you see the screen?
Yep.
Oh, good. I think a few people are in for a surprise. Doug was actually born Ian Douglas Smith. This started me thinking about why would you change your name? But you're bound to find that out later. Doug was born 21st of the 12th, 1955 to Scottish parents in Livingstone. I gather Livingstone was in Africa. At the time, Livingstone was in northern Rhodesia. But sometime after Doug was born, they changed the name to Zambia. So we went from Rhodesia to Zambia. Doug immersed himself in the usual boyhood traditions, hunting and wearing silly hats. Then, when he was about 8, the family moved to southern Rhodesia. But again, after Doug had been there, they changed the name to Zimbabwe. There's a theme. There's a thread. There's a thread.
It does have influence.
For those of you who are astute, you'll be following the thread. Doug, this is obvious. Doug did grow up, and he attended school at Umtali, which is now called Mutar. Too right.
Very.
Oh, that's what it is.
Hang on. One of the 8 ones up there.
Okay.
His moustaches.
After school, he joined the Post and Telecommunications Corporation and studied at the Telecommunications College in Salisbury, which, you guessed it, is now called Harare. While at college, Doug learned some very important senior management skills, including how to sit with his arms folded and how to grow a moustache. After graduating, he returned to Umtali as a telecommunications technician, and he met and fell in love with Carol.
Right. Which one's Carol? Which one's Carol?
I think our projectionist is getting a bit ahead of himself.
Just keep reading.
In the 70s, Doug was called up for service in the Rhodesian Army and was lucky enough to be given an 18th month, all expenses paid, of the Rhodesian countryside, courtesy of the government. Been there, done that. Here, he learned more essential life skills, like how to shoot your machine gunner mate in the knee and how to look relaxed, especially when nobody was shooting at you. Doug was selected to join the leader training unit and attained the rank of corporal.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. Ooh, man of authority.
Yeah. Having not been shot or mortally wounded, Doug completed his stint in the army and returned to his employer, who sent him to run a one-man station in the beautiful mountain region of Inyanga.
What's the sign now?
It will come as no surprise that Inyanga is now called Nganga. Doug's next move was back to Harare, teaching potential young telecommunications technicians. In 1981, Doug married the love of his life in Umtali, which by then may have been called Mutari, but I'm not sure.
It sure wasn't Atari.
Moving along, in 1982, Doug and Carol made the decision to move to South Africa. 2 years later, their beautiful son was born, and 5 years after that, they had a beautiful daughter. In November 2000, the Smiths decided to move to Australia. They are now all Australian citizens, which they all love living here. I imagine the thing that they most love about the stability Australia was called Australia, and when they got here, it's still called Australia.
Yeah, but for how long?
Doug joined Lions on the 10th of May 2001. It's hard to believe that long ago, 24 years. He was straight into service working on the Spring Festival, Golf Day and community projects. Doug was elected to the board the very next year and has served on the board many times. He has also chaired the club's Country and Western Night, Rock and Roll Night and more. During this time, he has been a presenter, a worker, a statesman and a leader, and I'm quite sure he's enjoyed most of it.
Let an entertainer.
At one stage, work got in the way and he was forced to back off. But he was back on the board by 2011, VP in 2012, also Spring Festival chairman. Doug became our president in 2017 and made history in Lugano Lions by becoming the first Lion to serve who served consecutive terms as president. Something that's not that different these days, is it? It's clear throughout Doug's life there have been many changes and many more ups and downs. But there is one thing that has remained constant: his love of bikes, big and small. In 2014, Doug was awarded the prestigious James D. Richardson Fellowship Medal and the Melvin Jones Award in 2018.
Not much more, mate.
Just reading my script. A hidden secret. But life hasn't always been smooth sailing. There was a time back in Rhodesia when things went off the rails. Now, does the name Johans ring a bell? Let's hear what Johans have to say.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Johannes.
Johannes.
Yes.
What did I say?
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, volume.
It's going.
My name is Johannes. I served in the Rhodesian Police Force, and during my time there, I had more than my share of intense encounters. But one that sticks with me was with a notorious bikie named Taxman. It was a scorching afternoon when we got the call. Someone was tearing through the outskirts of town at over 200 miles per hour. No respect for the law, no concern for public safety. We moved fast and set up a roadblock. The roar of his engine echoed long before he came into view. When he finally stopped, he towered over most of us, intimidating, cocky, full of attitude. Denied everything, of course. Claimed he was just out for a ride, nothing more. But we weren't buying it. A search of his set of the external up 10 kilograms of land. 10. And still, he stood there with a straight face, swearing he had no idea how he got there. I've looked hardened criminals in the eye before, but Doug Smith, he was something else. Dangerous. That day, we took him off the streets. But it was clear the battle between law and lawlessness was far from over.
So is that why you left South Africa?
Well, apparently, Doug, as we know him, is now called Drugsmith.
I'm a bit worried when Lagana is going to be called something else. Give it time, kid.
Okay. So, in closing, Doug Smith, we honour you, we thank you, and we love you.